Mexican archaeologists confirmed the existence of an underground chamber under tunnel in the Pyramid of the Moon, in the archaeological zone of Teotihuacan. They believe that this passage to the underworld served ritual purposes and that there could lie skeletons with elongated skulls, among other oddities. The first signs of the camera or pit arose during studies carried out in 2017. But its existence was only confirmed thanks to a joint prospection of the National Institute of Anthropology and History of Mexico, INAH, and the Institute of Geophysics of the National Autonomous University of Mexico, UNAM. This camera is 8 meters below the pyramid, has a diameter of 15 meters and a tunnel that flows south of the Plaza de la Luna. However, experts believe that there could be more accesses. It is likely that there is another entrance to the east side, so it is essential to have a complete radiography to know what are its accesses, said Veronica Ortega, director of the Integral Conservation Project of the Plaza de la Luna. The finding of the camera and the tunnel is the result of a study of electrical resistivity, which quantifies the force with which a given material is opposed to the flow of an electric current. The camera and the tunnel could have been used for ritual purposes. The Plaza de la Luna is the northern end of the Calzada de los Muros, which is a processional avenue, and is part of the heart of the city. The investigation of archaeologists revolves around the ritual space linked to the underworld that gave sacredness to the old city, said Ortega. These large offerings complexes constitute the sacred core of the city of Teotihuacan, so that all people considered it the Mecca of civilization. The new findings would confirm that the Teotihuacans reproduce the same pattern of tunnels associated with their great monuments, whose function should have been the emulation of the underworld. In the explorations carried out at the end of the 80s of the last century, through tunnels excavated in the body of the pyramid, the archaeologists Ruben Cabrera and Saburo Sugiyama found skeletons of individuals with cranial deformation, and various green stone objects, necklaces, anthropomorphic figures made with mosaics, so it is not difficult to think that something similar could be found in the subsoil, Ortega explained. The apogee of the city of Teotihuacan, which is located about 50 kilometers from Mexico City, took place during the 3 to 8 centuries. It was an important political and commercial center of Mesoamerica with a population of 100,000 to 200,000 inhabitants. An exploration of the newly discovered camera will help determine if each of the main buildings of the complex had a specific contact with a specific region of Mesoamerica. Ortega explained that in the Temple of the Feathered Serpent, for example, marine materials were found that show their relationship with the Caribbean. The pyramidal structures of Teotihuacan already appear in chronicles of the second half of the 16th century, where the two great pyramids of the Sun and the Moon are drawn. The Pyramid of the Moon, known by the ancient settlers of the Teotihuacan Valley as Meztla-Itzcakul, has been the subject of various explorations since the 17th century, according to Ortega. But the researcher added that there have been few excavations of the site. The first explorations were made by the archaeologist Jorge Acosta in 1954. In the 60s, the area was studied by the archaeologist Ponciano Salazar, who discovered 3 building stages of the building, which were later corroborated and expanded by the excavations of Saburo archaeologists Sugiyama and Ruben Cabrera, who identified 7 constructive stages, explained Ortega. In each of them there were commemorative offerings with human remains and sacrificed animals, such as jaguars, pumas, coyotes, wolves and eagles, he added. However, the expert pointed out that the nuclei and subsoil of the large structures and plazas were hardly explored, so that currently little is known about the Sun and Moon squares. None of the squares has stratigraphic excavations that allow knowing their origin and the time they were drawn, as well as their different uses, he concluded.